Hi, hello guys, this is Vijay, biology lecturer from Alaba Junior College. Okay, so now let us discuss about the next chapter and the most important expected diagram based question. Right, so now we are going to discuss about chapter 3 and here also some of the most important diagram based questions are there. So in that category, first we are going to discuss about human heart. So human heart internal structure we are going to draw now. Okay, right. Okay, so human heart internal structure. So just follow me how should draw the human heart structure. Then later on we would able to label the parts. And one of the most important thing is in some cases it is not possible to write all the labelings to the left side because n number of labelings will be. So in such a case what you supposed to do, the diagram should be drawn at the middle and both right and left side we would able to mention the labeling. Okay, so that is also one of the method to show the labeling should be lie in a proper axis or the proper plane, and that looks very pretty. Okay, now let us discuss about human heart. First, draw one oval shape or oval structure. Okay, so like this. Yes, now here we would able to show that double layers, some wavery structures like this and one elongated structure like this, some wavery structure. If you show, that is enough. So almost we got the boundary of the heart. Okay, now let us draw the different arteries. Very simple diagram. If you follow like oval shape structure and inside you make double layer, along with that till here you make the double layer, and below this part you make that double layer as a wavery structure, and at the center, at the midpoint here you make it one erect structure. Okay, symbol. Now I am going to draw the arteries and veins. Okay, right. So this is the human heart structure. Now let us label on both the sides because I did the diagram at the center, so we can able to mention the labeling on both the sides. It is very simple. Okay, so first of all, very simple labelings, whatever the simple labelings are there, that let us make it first. Okay, so like the human heart which shows 1 2 3 4 chambers are there. Okay, the upper chambers 2 are there and the lower chambers there are 2. The upper chamber 2 are there, that could be mentioned as atrium. Okay, the lower chambers they are considered to be the ventricle. Okay, atrium which is also called as auricle. So upper 2 chambers are there, left side and the right side. So mention it like right side atrium. Similarly mentioned here as left atrium. It is also called as auricle. Okay, so 2 names are there, so don't get confusion. Atrium भी बोल सकते हैं, auricles भी बोल सकते हैं. So atrium or auricle. Now next, this lower there are 2 chamber here. One is called right side ventricle, and this is left side ventricle. Okay, so 4 chambers done. Next, the most important thing is the outer layer of the heart. The outer layer of the heart is covered with a layer called pericardium. Like in the earlier chapter we discussed about human lungs. Human lungs is covered with a layer called pleura, and this here the layer which is covered, that is called pericardium. So most important thing. And next 5 labelings are done now, and now onwards we are going to mention the additional labelings. Okay, so in the additional labeling, the most important labelings in this is this particular pipe. Here we could able to see an U-shaped pipe. It is looking like an U-shape, inverted U-shape. Okay, inverted U-shape, and this inverted U-shape structure, that is called this inverted U-shape, that is called aorta. Aorta is the largest artery which is present in our body. So it is also called as दूसरा नाम भी है इसका coronary artery. Okay, coronary artery or aorta भी बोल सकते. Okay, so that is the most important artery in human being heart. Okay, and next, apart from this, we are going to mention rest of the labeling. One label I would like to say that is very easy to remember. See, in the entire heart structure, you can see there are two pipes are there, large pipe, yes, and pipe like structure. One is the upper side, the other one is the lower side. So this upper side pipe, large pipe, that is called, superior vena cava, and the lower one, that is called inferior vena cava. Let me explain what is the meaning of this vena cava. Superior is nothing but top of the part, and the inferior, that is in the lower part. Superior is nothing but here the blood supply, the blood is collected from upper parts of the body, from the heart, upper parts of the, what are the upper parts of the body from the heart, like shoulder, neck region, and our face region. In face there are many organs are there. Okay, in the olfactory organs, eyes, nose, ears, sense organs are there, and brain, the most important organ. So from there the blood is collected from this superior vena cava. Inferior vena cava, iska matlab hota this, the blood which is collected from the lower part of the human heart. Suppose you just imagine the heart is exactly the heart is placed here, right? So below this heart, rest of the part, just below the heart, like the human digestive system, respiratory system, excretory system, reproductive system, and lower limb. So all these parts which is connected to this inferior vena cava. So this is also one important labeling. Okay, now the most important thing, we mentioned that 4 chambers, but these 4 chambers, they are possesses some lid like structure, the door like structure. In a room there is a door, okay, for the entry or the exit. Similarly, the blood is flowing from each and every chambers by through a lid. Okay, the lid that could the prevent the flow of blood. Okay, so that is called the lid like structure, that is called valve. Okay, now we are going to discuss about 3 important valve. What are the 3 important valve? Let us see from this picture. Okay, so here aorta is there, just imagine aorta. Yes, from the aorta you see that side, I mean this part of the body. Actually this is called left atrium. According to you, it is called left atrium. According to me, it is a right atrium, but according to it, left atrium. So in this left atrium, we could able to see one valve here. This valve is called, okay, let us write this left. This is as left, because why to get confusion? It is very easy to remember that according to your side only. So left atrium or left ventricles, suppose you just imagine. Left atrium is there. In the left atrium there is one valve. This valve is called, this is like a door, okay, to allow the flow of blood. This valve is called mitral valve. Mitral valve. Mitral valve, it is also having one more name. If you want, you can write bicuspid. दूसरा नाम भी है इसका, bicuspid valve भी बोल सकते हैं. Okay, mitral valve or bicuspid valve. Similarly, here we could able to see there is one more pipe which is entering through this, like this, and here we have one valve. This valve, actually this is nothing but the pulmonary artery, the most important artery in a human body. This is called left side pulmonary artery. Okay, in the left side pulmonary artery, it is entering through this way, this path. From here we could able to see one valve. That valve is called, this valve is named as pulmonary valve. Okay, so this valve is named as pulmonary valve. Okay, yes, similarly we mentioned already there, left atrium there is a valve called mitral valve. Similarly, right atrium, here also there is a valve in the right atrium side. This valve is called left atrium, there is a valve called mitral valve. Similarly, right atrium there is a valve that is called tricuspid valve. Tricuspid valve. Because mitral valve, which is also called as bicuspid. Bicuspid, tricuspid, the meaning of bicuspid is it is folded with two-fold. It is folded with three-fold. That is the reason, just imagine that like this, three-folded, and this is folded with two. That is the reason which is called as bicuspid valve and tricuspid valve. Okay, so tricuspid valve is there in the right atrium, bicuspid valve is there in the left atrium. That is very, very important. Okay, so now this is called the pulmonary artery. Yes, the pulmonary artery which is going from here. See, we very simple to remember this. You know, the aorta is there. Just below this aorta we can able to see the pulmonary artery. But the pulmonary artery which is going from a Y-shaped structure, we can able to see this is looking like a Y-shaped structure. From left side it is moving like this, and from the right side it is moving like this. So this is called what? The pulmonary. This is the pulmonary artery. In the pulmonary artery looking like a Y shape, we can able to guess. Yes, it is like a Y shape. The pulmonary artery which is going from the left side, they are called left pulmonary artery, and which is coming from right side, they are called right pulmonary artery. Like that we can mention both two, we can able to differentiate both. So this is pulmonary artery, that is left side, and this is right side. Okay, now these all labelings are done. Here we could able to see one small two tubes are there. Here also two tubes are there. These four tubes are mentioned to be pulmonary vein. This is called left pulmonary vein, and these both are called right pulmonary vein. That is left side pulmonary vein, and this is called right side pulmonary vein. Okay, so done. So these are the most important labelings done, and also one of the most important part, which is exactly at right atrium, you can mention like this. You know that one dot, a black color dot, it is called as SAN. SAN, SAN. What is the meaning of this SAN? SAN के full form होता Sinuaricular Node. SAN, Sinuaricular Node. Okay, what is the meaning of the Sinuaricular Node? From here only the heartbeat which originate from this node. That node is called Sinuaricular Node. Here it is also called as pacemaker. Pacemaker could be placed in this particular place too. That could help for the functioning of heart for the people who are having heart failure. Okay, so pacemaker or Sinuaricular Node. Okay, so these are the labelings of the human heart. Okay, and this pericardium is there, further divided into 3 layers are there. If it is possible you can mention, otherwise no need. Pericardium, that is enough. Pericardium further divided into 3 are there. One is epicardium, mesocardium, endocardium. Additional labeling. 3 layers are there. See, outside epicardium, middle one mesocardium, inside endocardium. But collectively these 3 layers collectively called as one single name, that is called pericardium. Very simple. So this is the human heart structure. Okay. Yes. Now how to remember the labelings? Very simple. Human heart, most of them you people will get, think it's a very complicated structure, very simple structure. Just we have to remember, that's all. So first let us make all the labelings again one by one to remember. So the human heart, it is looking like, this oval shape structure. Here 4 chambers are there, like I am mentioning here, like chamber 1, chamber 2, chamber 3 and chamber 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And these upper chambers 2 are there and the lower chamber 2 are there. Upper chambers का दूसरा, upper chambers के name होते हैं ये atrium, which is also called as auricle. Okay. So right side auricle, left side auricle. Similarly, the lower chambers are called right side ventricle and left side ventricle. So 4 labelings done. Next, in the right side atrium, here there is a fold. That fold looks like 3 layers. Yes, 3 fold, and this 3 fold is called tricuspid valve. Similarly, in the left atrium, we can able to see 2 fold, that is called bicuspid valve. Bicuspid valve, or it is also called as mitral valve. Very simple. And next, these are the 4 chambers, right? Next, the most important artery, that is called coronary artery. Yes, or it is also called aorta. It is the largest artery present in the human heart. And next, there are when artery is there, then there must be a vein. Okay, so 2 veins are there, pulmonary vein and pulmonary artery. See, when the artery is there, there must be a vein. Okay, so here we have one more artery apart from this aorta, that is, this aorta looks like U shape, inverted U shape, and this pulmonary artery, that is looking like a Y shape. Okay, so that we should remember, the shape should be remembered. U shape, that is called aorta, and this Y shape artery is called pulmonary artery. And the pulmonary artery again further divided into both the sides. Okay, right side and left side. Left side which is going from there, right side which is coming from here. Similarly, when the pulmonary artery is there, like pulmonary veins are there, like left side pulmonary vein, these 2 are there, and here 2 are there, they are called right side pulmonary vein. Similarly, 2 very big large tubes are there, tube like structure. One is at the top and one is at the bottom, and this top structure, that is called superior vena cava, and which is called inferior vena cava. Superior vena cava collecting blood from upper part of the human heart, and the inferior vena cava collecting the blood from lower part of the human body, right? And the most important part which is mentioned at the center, that is called in the right atrium, that is called Sinuaricular Node, or SAN, which is also called the pacemaker. It's a location for pacemaker, and almost done. And there is one outer layering. Yes, the outer membrane which is covering the human heart, that is called pericardium. The pericardium further divided into 3 layers. Epicardium, mesocardium and endocardium. So these are the 3 different labelings. So this is about human heart, right? Yes. Now let us discuss another diagram from this same chapter. So now let us discuss about the next diagram, that is about single circulation and double circulation. Okay, single circulation, what is the meaning of this? Here what happened, the blood flows only once to the heart of the living being. In double circulation, what happened here, the heart flows twice for the heart which is present in the living being. And the single circulation, the best examples are fishes, and the double circulation, the best examples are mammals. How to draw the diagram? You see, very simple. Make it a very simple diagram for this. Okay, so in single circulation, let us talk about the fish's heart. Okay, which is looking like this. So it's a very simple diagram. This is the part of the heart. Okay, and this is called the type of the circulation happening in the fishes. So this is called gills, capillaries, and which is also called systemic capillaries. Okay, gills capillaries and systemic capillaries. Okay. Now let us see how the blood is flowing in the fish-like organisms. Okay. So here the blood is flowing from this direction. So this is what, as I said, it is a heart, and let us talk about this is artery, which is supplying the blood, and this is called a vein, which is collecting the blood. Always vein will collect the blood and arteries will supply the blood, except pulmonary artery and pulmonary vein in the human heart. But here that do the reverse function. But mostly, the arteries, they are supplying the blood, and the veins, they are collecting the blood. So that is very, very important thing. Okay. So here what happened, this is the, here if you make one straight a line axis, this part, yes. So here this is, you just imagine that the rest of the part of the fishes, so the blood is collected from the vein and that is reaching to the heart, and here the blood is undergoing for the purification. The impure blood is getting to be pure blood, or the deoxygenated blood is getting to be oxygenated, and finally the blood is supplied through the artery to all parts of the body. So this you could mention it as like the rest of the body, okay, all parts of the body. Okay, so blood is flowing from this direction. Here one thing we must notice, the blood is flowing entirely to the heart only once. The blood is collected to the heart, then it is supplying, that's all. Only once the blood is flowing. That is the reason it is called a single circulation. Okay. Now let us talk about double circulation. In the double circulation, we could able to see that the blood is flowing twice, because when the blood is collected from all parts of the body, when it is coming to the heart, that is the first time, and again this blood is passed to the lungs, pumped to the lungs by the heart, and where in the lungs the blood is getting to be purified. Okay, like deoxygenated blood, that is getting to be oxygenated blood, and these lungs directly not supplying the blood to the rest of the body. This blood again coming back to the heart. Okay, so we should notice that the blood is coming twice to the heart. First initially which is collected, then after purified again it is coming back to the heart. So when the blood is coming twice to the heart, that is called double circulation. From the heart again further it is supplied to all parts of the body. Okay, so single circulation, in this what happened, the blood is flowing only one time to the heart. There we could able to see twice. That is the most important difference between this single circulation and double circulation. And the single circulation can be seen in the lower level organisms, say for example like fishes are the best example, and double circulation can be seen in the higher level organism like mammals, human beings. We are all the best example. So here the blood is reaching to the heart twice, whereas here the blood is reaching to the heart only once. So this is about the single circulation and double circulation. Okay. Now let us discuss about the next diagram. So the next most important expected diagram, that is LS of root hair. Okay, which is showing the relationship of root hair and the soil water. How the root hair, which is involving for the absorption of soil water, okay, by root pressure mechanism. So this diagram also one of the most expected question. So in this diagram you see, this is called the root hair, okay, and this is soil particle and soil water, okay, and this layer you can able to see, that root hair, this outside layer, the outermost layer, this layer is called the epidermal layer or epidermal cell or epidermal layer. In that epidermal cells are there. Okay, and this is soil particle when where the soil water is there, and there is an air space between these, the soil and to the root hair, that is air space. That air space which gives the pressure for observing the soil water with the help of this root hair. Okay, So that is very very important thing. And this part, this is called xylem vessels. As soon as the blood is, as soon as the water which is entering through this root hair coming to where the xylem vessel which is helping for conduction of the water to from the root hair to root system and to the rest of the part. So xylem vessels are conducting the water, okay. And cell sap, that is very very important, one of the part that is called cell sap, okay. So this structure also may be expected diagram based question. So should remember all these parts. Very simple to remember this diagram, very simple diagram. So this is what the root in a plant. From the root, the outermost layer is the epidermal layer. Through the layer there is one small hair like structure, that is called root hair, soil and soil particles, soil water is there, air space is there, and cell sap. Through that the water is absorbed and coming to where this the vessels and the epidermal cells, from the epidermal cell passing to the xylem vessel for the conduction or the transportation, okay. So this is one of the most expected diagram based question. They may ask the question like LS of root, which is showing the relationship between the root hair and to the soil water. They will ask such type of question, okay. Now let us go for the next diagram. So the next diagram is also the same diagram only, because they will ask, instead of drawing this structure and labeling it, they will ask you to show the block diagram. So in the block diagram we should mention that all these different parts and how the conduction is possible in the plant, that should be explained, okay. So that is about the block diagram of the root hair, the relationship between the root hair and the soil water, they will ask, okay. That is also one of the most expected question. Until then, thank you guys.